Hi, I'm Jeff Hirsch. I'm here at the Money Show with Mike Larson. He's Senior Portfolio Analyst at Weiss Ratings, the Safe Money Report. And you've been telling us about your more conservative outlook, the volatility event explosion that we had, the Fed, everything. So you have some stocks. I mean, you're on a midterm election year on top of that, one of the weakest years of the four-year cycle. And this, 6 months, worst 6 months, even more pronounced in the midterm year. So what stocks are you, what are your top stocks for the midterm election year, and also overall for the more conservative bias you have right now?
A year or two ago, I was very heavy into things like defense companies, industrials, and financials and all of that. But I've grown a lot more conservative. I think things like REITs, for example, real estate investment trusts, conservative ones, you got some good ideas there. There's a few mining and resource type stocks that I think still have potential, but it's a lot more selective. I mean, one of the names I did is called Extra Space Storage, ticker symbol EXR. They're one of these companies.
EXR?
Yeah, exactly. They're one of these companies, yields about 3.4%.
That's good. It's not bad.
They only have 5% of the storage market, the self-storage market.
So it's self-storage.
Correct. It's, you've got some REITs that are economically sensitive, your office companies, your retail ones.
So they don't run the businesses, they sell they rent the real estate to the businesses.
Well, no, they've got Extra Space is one of these self-storage REITs, so they own, we all have too much junk in our house, right? We're looking to store it somewhere. That's been a trend, and you've also seen if you're looking for a non-economically sensitive type REIT, that's a great name for it.
Can't get rid of it all at the yard sale.
Exactly. So that's one name that I like.
Storage REIT, what else?
Sure. There's another company called MGE Energy. It's a small, relatively small Wisconsin natural gas and energy type utility.
Oh, it's utility.
Utility, yeah. And they've got a decent yield. And what I like about them is their history of dividend hikes. They've been around since the mid 1850s.
That's a good indicator.
They've been around since the mid 1850s.
There you go.
They've paid consecutive dividends for more than a century, and they've raised their dividend every year for the past 42. So again,
a 42-year history of consecutive rate dividend increases?
Yes, absolutely, and 100 years of paying dividends. So, this is. Again,
and what's their yield?
Their yield is not that great. It's in the mid 2% range, but I like that they have a little shot at the growth side.
So how about the stock? What's that do?
Oh, sure. No, I mean it's been all utilities tended to pull back up until about 6 or 7 weeks ago.
Utilities are in season right now.
Yeah, now they're starting to pick up again. So I think that's
from my work,
Yeah. So I think that's one of those. MGEE is the ticker symbol there.
MGE.
And it's one of those
small
names,
utility.
Yeah.
With some growth and a little bit of dividend yield.
Great history, and that kind of safety.
Long history.
That's what I like.
You said something about mining before too. Mining stocks. Was there one you had there?
There's one more company. It's a smaller market cap, about $320 million. It's Gold Resource is the name of it. GORO. And it's interesting, despite the name, they also do base metals, some zinc, some coppers, and things like that.
It's a junior miner?
Junior miner, relatively smaller miner, but they operate in stable areas. They're in southern Mexico and they're in Nevada, so it's not some of these corners of the world that you have to worry about.
They have earnings, revenues, or they're just exploring still?
No, what's interesting is that they do have earnings, and they actually, despite the big drop we had in gold from $1,900 down to less than $1,100 an ounce, the company still managed to make a profit throughout that period.
So they're a producer,
junior
producer, not exploring. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so they're a company that I think still has potential if gold continues to rise on volatility, which I think it will. And the stock just broke out to a multi-month high, so it's looking good on the charts as well.
GORO?
GORO, yep.
Great. Thanks so much, Mike. Thanks, everyone.
Good.